While everybody was fighting for a seat at the table, talking about Oscar so white, I said, y'all go ahead and do that. But while you fighting for a seat at the table, I'll be down in Atlanta building my own. Because what I know for sure is that if I could just build this table, God would prepare it for me in the presence of my enemies. Every dreamer in this room, there are people whose lives are tied into your dream. Own your stuff, own your business, own your way. God bless you.
There was a moment in my life that all I had was a Bible this big and a radio the same size and a 6x8 cell. And I believed that those two things could change my life. I believed that music had the power to change my life and God had the power to change my life. And I want to tell y'all right now, Jesus is for everybody. Jesus is not owned by one political party. Jesus is not owned by no music label. Jesus is Jesus, and anybody can have a relationship with him.
And to all of you watching here, come close to the screen and listen. People don't have to like you. People don't have to love you. They don't even have to respect you. But when you look in the mirror, you better love what you see. You better love what you see.
So when you're told you're not good enough, you tell them, not only am I good enough, I'm more than enough. When they say, send her back home, you tell them, I am home. And when they say you're not beautiful, you tell them that you are the descendant of royalty. And you are a queen. Whether I recognized it or not, I was walking towards my purpose. As a young actress trying to make my way, survival figured into the equation, but not so much that I was ever willing to compromise my integrity. It hasn't always been easy, and there have been tough times, days when the phone didn't ring. There will be times when you seemingly face insurmountable obstacles, but that's when you dig deep into your soul for the courage and the fortitude to keep going and to never forget that despite life's detours, you are destined for greatness.
I blame no one. I look in the mirror.
We're not on this stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days or 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way. If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger. We were never satisfied, never finished, will never be retired. Rest at the end, not in the middle. And I took that to heart. I believe there's time for resting at the end, but for me, that time is not now.
One characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. Grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint.
And it was only when I began to travel and look and live beyond my home did I understand my responsibility to others. And when I met survivors of war and famine and rape, I learned what life is like for most people in this world, and how fortunate I was to have food to eat, a roof over my head, a safe place to live, and the joy of having my family safe and healthy. And I realized how sheltered I had been, and I was determined never to be that way again. We are all, everyone in this room, so fortunate. I have never understood why some people are lucky enough to be born with the chance that I had to have this path in life, and why across the world there's a woman just like me with the same abilities and the same desires same work ethic and love for her family, who would most likely make better films and better speeches. Only she sits in a refugee camp, and she has no voice. She worries about what her children will eat, how to keep them safe, and if they'll ever be allowed to return home. I don't know why this is my life, and that's hers. I don't understand that, but I will do as my mother asked, and I will do the best I can with this life to be of use. And to stand here today means that I did as she asked, and if she were alive, she'd be very proud.
Just know, you don't make it at 10, you can make it at 30. You don't make it at 30, you can make it at 50. You don't make it at 50, you can make it at 60 and still give them goodness. To anyone who has ever had a dream and thought your dream wouldn't, couldn't come true, I am here to tell you that this is what believing looks like. This is what striving looks like. And don't you ever give up on you.
Tonight proves that if you listen and you focus and you step out your comfort zone, you can achieve anything in life. Like I was nothing about 3 years ago. I'm here now. So I think if you listen and you focus and you just step out your comfort zone a little bit, who cares if you get embarrassed, you know?
So I want tonight to express gratitude to all the women who have endured years of abuse and assault because they, like my mother, had children to feed and bills to pay and dreams to pursue.
You see me on TV, in magazines, on movie screens, and you might be thinking to yourself, what does she know about struggling to believe in herself? Well, let me tell you something. I do not look like my journey. 10 years of no after no after no before the next film role came about. But I filled in that time with TV and more no's and more rejection until I made it big on Broadway.
That I am vulnerable. And in life, there is no real safety except self-belief. And an understanding that I am not the owner of my talents. I'm not the owner of anything. Everything I have is a gift from God.
Disrespect invites disrespect. Violence incites violence. When the powerful use their position to bully others, we all lose. Okay.
Constantly seek criticism.
Yeah.
A well thought out critique of whatever you're doing is as valuable as gold. And you should seek that from everyone you can, but particularly your friends.